How about the processed foods are killing 4,300 people a day? And how about everybody, if you're in the 50s, you take a picture on the beach and everybody's skinny and healthy, and now everybody's overweight and fat and sick and dying. It's like there's just so much stuff. And then like there's, oh my God, like in taxation. Well, you're a slave. If you're paying income taxes and stuff, you're a slave. But what most people don't know is you voluntarily signed up for it unknowingly.
Hey, Inspire Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. It's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Inspired Conversation. And my guest today, you know him. He's been with us many times, a wonderful guy. And he just said something, very, very profound to me. He said, you kind of got to be wild and crazy to be on Earth right now with everything that's going on. So I'm curious to find out what exactly he meant. Please welcome with me my dear friend, founder of Chemical Free Body, Tim James. How's it going, brother?
Dude, it's going awesome. I'm following my highest excitement to the best of my ability with zero insistence on an outcome. That's the formula.
Sounds like wisdom, especially the detachment from outcome. Usually it's very, very important. But speaking of outcome, you're right. This is a pretty wild place. Like Earth and everything that's happening here is pretty crazy. But what prompted this? Like what's happening in your world? What are you observing? What's going on?
Oh, it's just, I guess I said that to you just because things come to me. I get downloads and I'm kind of a guy that fires first and then I aim later. And I'm trying to ride the wave of excitement and joy in my life because I know what in my experience in my world, when I feel the vibrational frequency of excitement and joy and passion and love, I know that's God saying, go that way, Tim. God's got our back, and whatever that God is to you, it doesn't matter. That's your God. You rock and roll with it. Right. And so when we feel good and we feel joy and excitement, I'm not talking about like shooting up, I don't know, heroin or something. I feel great. God's got my back. I'm talking about, moral, ethical type things within the laws of society, doing good stuff. All right.
But authentic. It's an authentic higher consciousness feeling versus the lower consciousness things, which are really not our nature. Greed, envy, anger, despair, those are really not our nature. That's really unnatural for us to feel that. However, being totally truthful, most of the people in the world still kind of fall into that arena of unnaturalness. Is that what you meant by saying it's a pretty crazy place?
Well, what I mean by that is like, I believe from, what I've heard from mentors and people is that that resonated with me is that Earth is a happening place right now. And the reason why is because this is a master class on remembering who you are and growth. Because, if you look at the state of affairs today, you've got it's 2025 and we still have wars. Like, why are we killing people? That makes zero sense. And and most of us that are in the know, we know it's all being run by just some, a few people, and the governments have all been hijacked. They give you the illusion through the television that they're fighting against each other. It's all coordinated. It's and they have us good, hardworking, class decent people, and they, brainwash us with television and the news and all that stuff. And to get us to take our sons and daughters and send them overseas and kill other working class people that just want to have a good life. It's that's going on. The amount of pedophilia. I was talking to a guy the other day, and I was like, yeah, dude, like pretty much every DC and all that place, it's probably most of them are pedophiles. That's how I resonate. That's how I feel. And he's like, oh, that's not true. And I'm like, dude, do you know who Dennis Hassert is? And he's like, no, who's that? And I go, well, if you look it up, I got it right here. Dennis Hassert, born January 2nd, 1942, a former politician, teacher, and wrestling coach, convicted sex offender who represented Illinois' 4th Congressional District from 1987 to 2007. And he was actually Speaker of the House. In his, he was the 6th longest serving Speaker of the House in history. So what that means is that he's got Nancy Pelosi's position, right? Mm-hmm. Right now. If the president and vice president were on a plane flight and the plane went down and they died, he's president and he's a pedophile. Okay. This was this is back in 2000, Democrats and gained a majority, blah, 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 lobbyists. So in 2016, he was sentenced to 15 months in prison. So this guy's, he was a wrestling coach. He's messing around with kids. It's like, okay, it's not an isolated incident, and this stuff goes way back. So this is what I'm talking about. When you have over 800,000 children being abducted in the United States, 1 million in Europe, disappearing, and a large percentage of those are in this child trafficking thing. Good, decent people have a hard time believing this stuff is happening. If you do, go to vetsforchildrescue.com or .org, vetsforchildrescue.org, and they have a documentary called, I'll have to look it up real quick, that Craig Sawyer put together, Contraland. It's called Contraland. Yeah,
I know.
Watch that video. Yeah. It's going to blow your mind. Like, they'll put an ad out anywhere, downtown America, general, whatever, on the black web or whatever. And within days, they have hundreds. I mean, they were just up out of Bonners Ferry, Washington, or Bonners Ferry, Idaho. It's kind of rednecky up there. And within just a few days, they had like 500 people that wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old girl.
I'm telling you, Tim, this is something that is so near and dear to our hearts. And we, beyond the sort of the documentaries and people seeing all these numbers, we know so many people who are in the field, like one of them being Doc Pete Chambers, a former Green Beret, like a really great guy. He's been down at the border for years now doing missions that, he can't say where and when. Obviously, it's secrecy, but he tells us every now and then what they encounter, what they find. Imagine the worst that you could possibly imagine, then multiplied by God knows how much, and that's what they're seeing, and that's what they're seeing on the daily. There's still an incredible amount of manifested evil in this realm. So I understand what you're saying by it's kind of crazy to be here. But
so let me just talk about some more stuff about how about all the glyphosate being sprayed all over the crops, and how about the crops being genetically modified with venoms, and how about the crops being genetically modified with all kinds of stuff, and genetically edited and engineered with jab technology in there. So you're going to get jabbed if you eat a cucumber. How about the processed foods are killing 4,300 people a day? And how about everybody, if you're in the 50s, you take a picture on the beach and everybody's skinny and healthy, and now everybody's overweight and fat and sick and dying. It's like there's just so much stuff. And then like there's, oh my God, like in taxation. Well, you're a slave. If you're paying income taxes and stuff, you're a slave. But what most people don't know is you voluntarily signed up for it unknowingly. And you're just going along with everybody else. Yep. It's like if you actually knew how to do state citizenship, and because the states, which are countries like Oregon and Tennessee and Florida, those are all individual countries. If you actually look at it, just like, Germany's a country, Italy's a country. You don't say the United States of Europe. People are like, that's weird. We get conditioned. Oregon that I live in is a country. Yeah. Okay. And that state country decided to band together not really band together, but have the federal government to do one thing. It's in the Constitution, to secure our rights. That's the only job of the federal government. They're way out of bounds. They're in childcare and they're in education and they're printing our money. They shouldn't be in our money. They shouldn't be doing our military. The state should be doing all of this stuff, right? So all that weird stuff, the pedophilia we talked about, the processed foods are killing people, the medical system, we pay more for it and we're the sickest people. So there's a lot of, I call it contrast out there, and it could be like, wow, Tim, this is heavy, this is bad. That's what I'm talking about when this is an exciting time to be alive. This is why I believe all eyes in the universe are on Earth right now, because if you can come to a place like this, and by the way, this is a masterclass that we're signed up for. If you're here right now in this time, space, reality, you are a warrior to show up.
I agree with that. I don't agree with the Earth as a school thing. I think that's crap, but I agree with the rest. Go ahead.
Okay. We'll talk about that later. Sure. So anyway, so it's like, and if you are nothing more than unconditional love and you sign up to come here to remember who you are, and you can go through the pedophilia and all the stuff we talked about and the child trafficking, and you can still come out of the darkness and find the light, that is something to be celebrated, my friend. Yes. And so that's why it's a masterclass.
Yes, I don't see it that way, but I see the general idea of we clearly have we have something to heal here on a big level, and it has reverberations into everything. It connects to everything. Absolutely. Earth is a school. I don't agree with that. I think it's a good, for most people that come here, they came here by forgetting for too long and being sort of sucked in over and over again. But we're getting that cleared up too. So what is it that makes you see these things and actually fall into the joyous side of things, because many people they see these things and they fall into despair, which is sort of exactly what's wanted to happen.
I've been there because I didn't have the skill sets and I didn't have the awareness.
So what are those skill sets? What is that?
So the awareness is number one, is like, and I learned this when I moved back. I think I might have talked about this before. When I moved back home from Portland, based guys all over different, Beaverton, Tigard, Oregon City, Canby. I lived all over the place down there. Sandy. It's Portland, Vancouver metro area. When I moved back home to take care of my mom and dad, I would be done at nighttime at the house, and I bought a real nice trailer to live in while I was fixing another place to live on the property, and I'm still doing it. I'm getting closer. And I started walking from the house to the trailer, and I looked up, and it was black. The sky was black, and the stars were brilliant white, the light from the stars. And I was like, oh, wow, it's been a while since I've seen this, because in the city, the lights kind of blotch it all out. You can't really see it. And then I was just like, wow. And what I learned is that this experience that we're in is 50% dark and it's 50% light. It's a duality. And without the darkness, I couldn't see those bright, beautiful white stars. That's it. If it was just all light, it would be all light. But with the darkness and the light, that's the cool thing. So you got this 50-50 deal, and being a human being, you have this amazing positive thing called choice. And so choice goes right down the middle of this darkness and the light, and you get to choose what side you want to be on. That's where the excitement is, because it is a choice, and you can choose darkness and then come out of it. Some people are reborn Christians. Some people just come to their senses. They stop the drugs. I had a guy this weekend right in the middle of a beer garden. After talking to him for 2 days, we connected, and he was just like, he went up to get his beer, and he turned to me and he's like, I'm not drinking anymore. I'm done. I'm not drinking. And we hugged in the middle of a beer garden at a rodeo, and he's got tears pouring down his face, and I start crying too. And he had a breakthrough in a freaking beer garden, right? It was awesome. And we were like instant bonded friends. It was cool. I was just sharing with him my experiences and stuff, and I don't chastise anybody for drinking alcohol, because believe me, I did a lot of it. I used to have when I was partying, a bottle of Pendleton whiskey in my back pocket, slugging on that deal. Right. So I've done the heavy duty drinking, the power drinking, and that kind of stuff. I wasn't an alcoholic, but I try to do everything like 100%. So anyway, all this stuff, you got light and dark, but if you have choice, since that's positive, now it's almost like 51% positive or light and 49% darkness. So the universe, I believe, is kind of drifting in a positive fashion because of choice. And that's where we're at today. So when you have all this darkness, it allows you to become the light. It gets me motivated to get up every day and do this stuff. Because if everything was just all, butterflies and beautiful and stuff, I probably wouldn't be doing this, and you might not even be doing what you're doing.
No.
It's like the mother that's child dies from a drunk driver and starts MADD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, this whole organization like changing and bringing awareness to stop freaking drinking and driving. You're killing people and your gut microbiome, and you're going to raise your insurance rates, and it's going to be miserable for you and everybody else around you. Stop killing kids, stop killing families by drinking and driving. So that whole organization would have never came about unless her daughter died. There's some serious darkness there. She became the light. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this is an exciting place to be, because we need darkness to have this light experience.
So Tim, you had your dark night of the soul, dark night of the body, almost died. You shared this story. And when you were about, 37 years old, 38 years old, you looked probably like you were in your 50s. Now you are in your 50s and you look like you're 37 years old. So you have kind of reversed this whole deal. But it isn't like the physical part is one of it. Like you just said, there's a spiritual component that drives this whole ship. There is this drive, this level of consciousness that drives this. What is a step that you think is unlocks this? What can people do that unlocks this kind of energy? Because a lot of people feel sluggish and they don't know where to start, and it's also overwhelming. And like you say, some people are overweight or chronic disease, and it's always like, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. What starts unlocking this energy?
Well, my whole business and what I teach is my pathway that it happened for me is like, because everything's connected. So if you want to have an awesome spiritual path, you have to understand that this body you were given was a gift from God, and it's part of the path. So the more you can raise the vibrational frequency of every cell in your body and get it tapped in, tuned in, and turned on, then the better chance that you can tune in to frequencies that are there spiritually that you couldn't see. It's like you're on channel 2. You can't see channel 4. You're on channel 2. If you really want to watch channel 4, then you need to change the channel. You need to change the frequency, raise the frequency. Oh, I'm on channel 4 now. Oh, whoa, I didn't see life like this. This is much better. Awesome. I keep raising my frequency, eating better, eating nutritious, growing sprouts, drinking green juices every day, drinking lots of water. Channel 6. Oh my God, this is even better. What's next? 8, 10, 12. Let's keep going up the channels. And that's what I've been doing for 14 years. And I keep thinking like I can't get any healthier. I can't feel better. And then I run into somebody and they show me something new and I try it and it works. And I'm like, oh my God, this is in. And then I keep fixing problems that I had in my body that were gifted to me by like the dental association as an example. Or, we talked about my cavitations and stuff like that. And how, dude, this hat, I couldn't wear this hat anymore. This hat is 31 years old. It's a Bailey. You roll it. This is an old school hat, right?
Nice one.
This horsehair band. This is old school cowboy, and I couldn't wear this hat anymore. I couldn't wear this hat because it wouldn't fit on my head, and I thought it shrank. I pulled on it. Last 3-4 years trying to. It doesn't matter. It's built too well. It wasn't going to change, and so I was like, oh, it'll just be a little ornament somewhere, probably in the music studio when I get it done. I get those infections out of my mouth, those 3 cavitation surgeries done. Whoop, my hat fits.
And
my freaking
what?
I had a swollen head.
I thought I thought this was before when you were like, heavier. So you're saying that because of all the inflammation in your mouth and around it, your entire head was swollen at all times.
My head was swollen. And if I put it on, it was really tight, and very quickly, within a minute or so, I'd get headaches. I can't do it. So I was walking around like this for a while. I had it like on my head up high, and then now it's like perfect. It's just like it was. It holds just right, just softly grabs. It's awesome. And all the joint pain's gone on my elbows. I'm 20 again.
It's
like just like I had been.
You can ride a horse. I mean, you still have to have it on, when you ride a horse. But that's amazing. So, and that happened recently. And you say you were going to share once you're through this. So you did that. You had a biological dentist remove all the crap and the root canal and whatever, and it's been a month or.
Did I come on and we talk about this yet?
You did. We did a whole show on it, but you never really came back and shared what has changed since fully.
Well, number one, my hat fits, so I don't have a swollen head anymore. So maybe it was the ego that I let go of. I have no idea, but the hat fits. Number two, all the most of the joint pain is gone. I have a F3 or a Ram 350 diesel. It's a pretty big truck, and I got to put my foot up on the tire, grab the hood, and pull myself up, flip the things on the windshield, and clean the windshield. Okay, when I'd pull myself up, my knee hurt and it hurt. It's been hurting for 2 years. I just washed it a couple days ago. Whoop, pull it right up like I'm like a teenager again. Bloop, no pain, no problem. Boop, right up there. I'm like, my life is better. I'm so freaking excited right now about how good I feel. So you asked me earlier, what this is the path that I help people with. If you have low energy and you're in pain, life's going to be a drudgery. It's just the way it is. You're going to have to stimulate yourself through life. You're going to have to put up that coffee in the morning and it's full of mold and all this other crap because nobody even taught you how to drink coffee properly. That's just most people are not doing it right. They're not buffering the coffee with L-theanine, all this stuff. We could do a whole episode on coffee, right? How to do it or do it right or don't do it.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, because that's a big deal. It's one of the number one drugs out there. And then the 5-hour energy drinks and Red Bulls and all this in aluminum cans that are poisoning your brain and giving you dementia and Alzheimer's. Anything in aluminum, never drink out of it. It's toxic. And always drink out of glass bottles. And then they have another coffee in the afternoon or what's a Munster drink, which is some satanic thing. I don't know. And then it's just all crap. It's all kids are dying of that stuff. They're having heart attacks, teenagers. They can't have all this stuff. It's toxic. And then they have more coffee and they come home and then they pass out have 3, 4, 5, 6 beers and pass out and they can't even play catch with their son. And he's 6 years old. He really wants to play catch with daddy, but daddy's too tired. I can't do it. I got to drink my beers and drag myself out of bed again, do it all over again in the morning. And it's rinse and repeat. And that is a crappy life. That is a low frequency crap life. And one of those guys like that I was just talking about, I had a client exactly like that. What did we do? We got him on water, and we got him drinking the green juice. We got him on the gut detox to clean up that 6 to 12 pounds of crap that's in his colon. It's impacted fecal material. Get it out of there. I mean, the engine's plugged up. Let's clean it up. This is where all the absorption of nutrients goes through the intestinal lining. I mean, people just need to get a little basic education on this. Your body's a freaking machine. And it's the way the nutrients get sucked into the bloodstream is through the intestinal lining. And so what's happening is from all these processed crappy foods, you've got like a sludge built up, and these junctions are open. There's like microscopic tears and holes, and all these toxic chemicals like Kool-Aid with red dye 40 and blue dye #1 that are cancer causers go right in those junctions. They go right into your blood and right into your cells, and your kids are getting cancer. Right? And you're getting problems, and you're getting aches and pains and fibromyalgia and joint pain and hip pain and cancer. And you feel like crap, and you gain weight, and you can't figure it out. Well, if your engine's full of garbage and you got holes in the engine, like, it ain't going to run well. So we teach people to clean up the garbage, let the body heal up those tight junctions that are in those little microscopic meshy type things in the intestine, and then flood the body with nutrients. And then we get them on like toxin detox with the zeolites and the herbs to start chelating out the heavy metals, the radiation and pollution, where pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, chemicals, chemical fertilizers, all this garbage and stuff all of us have breathing in. We've been drinking it in. We've been eating it in. We've been wearing clothing that's off-gassing it into us. We got to get all these estrogen mimickers out of us. And then we just flood the body with minerals and greens. And then we actually nowadays, because of we're de-evolving as a species, the gut microbiome is so jacked and out of whack that it's dropped. And now people are really susceptible to yeast, fungus, and mold and parasites. Yeast, fungus, mold, and parasites. So we put them on a parasite-free product for the parasites, and the nano silver solution for the parasites, and to balance the gut microbiome without disturbing the gram-positive. This is huge. There's no other silver that I don't know if does this. And then good probiotics, prebiotics, lots of raw sauerkrauts and fermented foods and kimchis and fermented yogurts or kefirs. And we're going to get outside in nature and get the dirt, crawl around in the dirt, go dirt surfing, get out into wild, undisturbed soil that hasn't been sprayed, and get sunshine and get your freaking life back, and take your shoes off and walk and grounding. And there's just a lot of things you can do, but you clean up the mess, you flood the body with nature, and you forget about all the rest. You stop stressing out about all this stuff and learn how to respond differently to your stressors. These are the things we teach over and over and over and over and over and over again, and people heal themselves, and they become a light for themselves, their family, and their community, and give other people permission slips to change. Not that they will, but that's what it's all about. It's like just lighting people up. I feel like I'm lit up now. I'm like a little candle, and I go around and light people. Some people put the candle out. They don't want it. Some people are like, I don't know. And some people are like all about it. And just like, the cool thing is I can take my candle and I can light 1 billion candles, and it doesn't take anything away from me. Not one bit.
Can I share a success story with you, Tim? Because
yep.
I love it. We gift the beautiful products that y'all make. We gift them to people where we feel, oh, this might really help you. And recently we made a new friend, and she told us that her daughter as a child had lymphoma, went through, the entire treatments, and they weren't as aware back then as they're now about things. And so now she's a young adult, early 20s, and has had severe gut issues and digestion issues, I assume as a result of the treatment and everything that has happened before, and sort of was accustomed to living with it. Kind of like, yeah, well, this is just how it's going to be. And so Christine gifted her, the bundle that you put together for our audience, the Inspired Bundle, all that stuff, and gifted it to her. And the daughter started taking it. And so they were incredibly grateful. And for a few weeks, maybe a month or so, we don't hear much. And then the mom reaches out and says, I got to tell you this. My daughter called me, and she is over the moon because things are beginning to change, and she's seeing, for the first time, she's seeing real improvement. Like, she feels better, and the things that she can see in this journey, I don't want to get too graphic, or better. And it's like,
you're talking about poop, probably.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, there's, and just imagine, I like already having gone through this experience of being severely sick as a young child and the whole drama and trauma and all that. And now you're facing the possibility of living with like gut and digestion issues for your entire life, and you're in your early 20s. That sucks. And so
Yeah.
that protocol within a few short weeks started to improve her life. Started to improve her life. And this was like, for me, and I'm not, you're the chemical free body guy, but for us, it was just so beautiful to see what one step, one thing can do and how it can change your life. So just as a thank you for all that you do, and we love paying it forward where we can, but this is just one of those beautiful stories, and it's a gift that keeps on giving, brother.
Yeah, it's amazing. Dr. Treadway, his formulas are just, I mean, I went through 33 labs to find that dude. 33.
And no, this is not a Masonic code number. It just happens to be 33 labs, right?
Well, 32, 33. It was low 30s. Okay. I say it different probably every time. 31, 32. It was over 30. I know that. And I got lucky. And it really wasn't luck though, because there was this one lab in Idaho and I really liked the guy, but he did not know what Kirlian photography was. And I wanted to use that to measure the energetics because I'd learned about it at the Hippocrates Wellness Center. And then I'm like, do you have any Kirlian photography at your lab? And he's like, oh, yes, we have 2 of those machines. And I'm like, no way. All right. Okay. Yes. And then he's amazing. That guy was amazing. He passed away from surgery, back surgery. And that guy had a knowledge base. That's why this stuff works so well. Because I went through a lot of people to find this guy to make this green juice. That's what I wanted. And when I got him, I got all of his formulas. He's getting ready to retire. And he's like, I've been trying for years to get my formulas out. I'm not a marketer. I'm like, let me try that one. Let me try that one. And I'm like, they just keep solving people's problems. I'm like, dude, I'm telling everybody about your stuff. Everybody's going to know about this stuff. You are a hero. He really is a hero. So his legacy will continue. I'll never stop talking about this stuff because of the stories that you're talking about right now. I know what it's like to poop rocks and blood. My poop was very hard and it was very painful. And there's also people on the other end of the spectrum that are pooping 20, 30, 40, 50 times a day with like colitis and Crohn's and all this stuff. And like, I want to help people get their poop fixed, because if you're pooping good, you feel good and your energy is going to be up, man. We got to get that gastrointestinal, that engine humming again. And then we give it really good fuel and it'll just slowly build upon itself. You get more energy and then, get the pain starts going away and you get your life back. And then all of a sudden get out of the way, man. It's like, it's awesome watching people get lit up and then to watch them affect other people.
I love that too. And there's another guy, a dear friend of mine, whom we gifted the package to and are keeping him flooded with this stuff. And he's been through years of chronic disease, overweight, just in pain, just not a pleasant life experience. And we can see the improvement from week to week. The main thing that really stood out to me was mental clarity and sharpness. Like, he was always an intelligent guy, but now he's back. He's coming back. And it's just beautiful to see. Tim, you're teaching this stuff every day. That's what your life is about. You have your podcast. You have your groups for people that want to come into the Insight Circle. And of course, you have the bundles and the products that people can use to help get on that journey. Where can they find that? Where can they find you? And how can they get started today?
It's all on our website at chemicalfreebody.com/inspired. chemicalfreebody.com/inspired. If you do go directly to our site for whatever reason, make sure when you check out, you use the code inspired so you can get your discount. Actually, I haven't done this in a while, but if you do that, that's how you get, I'll show you how to get a double discount. So if you decide you want to do the Inspired Optimal Health Bundle, you can click in there, use the Inspired code, you get a discount, and that bundle's already discounted. So it's a double discount. We have a double your money back guarantee on all of our products. All right. Double your money back guarantee, because I know how they're going to work. Dr. Treadway is legit. This guy is legit. All I ask you is like, try the stuff out at least once. Get something, at least get the mouth rinse or something, get something inexpensive. And I know this stuff costs, sometimes it's out of some people's budgets. Maybe they got to do gut detox for a while and then they can switch over to toxin detox, maybe get the greens and bounce it around and stuff. And I get it. Right. And some people, it's not a big deal. It just depends. If that's the case and you want to save money, we also have something called Subscribe and Save. It's discounted again. So then it's like a triple discount. Right. And if you do that, then you get me for free as a coach. So that $37 a month inner circle that I lead every week to coach people in a group setting. If you're on subscribe and save on any of our products, and you could rotate one each month. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's easy to do. You have full control in the back office. You get a free coach. And so, because things are going to come up. I know some people are like, oh, I've got an itch to scratch. And it's like, I have this problem. I want to lose weight. I want to gain weight. I've got my back hurts or whatever. It's like, I heard on this show and like, maybe those greens would help me with some energy, and you're excited about doing it. Or you're like, I'm excited about getting that Inspired Optimal Health Bundle, and you get it. And then what? Well, you take it. Yeah. Right. But there's a lot of other stuff that you can do that's free that you might not know about. And I do. And I want to tell you about it. And that's where that inner circle comes. There's a lot of stuff, guys. In fact, we'll have to do it, dude. We're going to have to do an episode on fasting. Water fasting is one of the most powerful things you can do. It's like,
we have, Tim. As a matter of fact,
just tap into God, do surgery without a knife, and heal yourself up fast. But you need to know how to get into it, work your way into it slowly, and get into that space. It is you can heal yourself, guys. You can become your own doctor and learn how to self-heal. I've done it, and I didn't know nothing about health, and it was showed because I was pooping rocks and blood and had to be life flighted. So I had to figure it out.
And Tim, we have a playlist of all of our shows together, which is called the Chemical Free Body Guy playlist. So what you want to do is Tim comes on every other week, and mostly he shares about things that you can do where you are. Do what you can with what you have where you are. So if you go through these shows, you will find plenty of free things that you can do to get started today, like right now. So you just click on a playlist, watch through the shows, jot down whatever you want to do, whether that's fasting, whether that's switching over to a different diet, whether that's learning on when to drink, when how much, and when not to drink. All of those things Tim shares for free. And also, of course, hop over, please, to chemicalfreebody.com/inspired. Go look around, sign up for the newsletter, check out Tim's podcast, check out the bundles, and just, lead with your heart. Tim, as always, a pleasure and an honor. Thank you, my brother from Oregon. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. It's an honor. I love giving. When people give me a platform that I can share my experience, and I know there's one person out there at least that this message is going to resonate with, and they're going to take action and change their life. That amazing. Like if just one person like feels better tomorrow and they have more energy because of something that I shared, dude, it's so amazing. Because I know what it's like to be in pain. Yeah, mission accomplished. And hopefully there'll be 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 or 1,000 of you. I don't know. Let's share the episode. Let's get this out there and help people.
Amen, brother. Thank you so much. Inspire Tribe, thank you for everything you are and you do. We love you. We appreciate you. And we will be back with you again very, very soon.